Yep, got him. Oh, that's bro, what is it? This guy's going bananas. Good morning, this is part 2 of our series on catching flathead. I'm not going to talk too much now, I'll get straight into it, but this part is all about using vibes. I've got a little Xeric fish trap here. Rodney's using a Loco shrimp, and we're going to show you how to use these in shallow water, in deep water, to catch flathead. It's a really great way to cover a lot of territory, and flathead absolutely love them. And a lot of other species do as well in the estuaries, like jewfish, brim, and whiting will often eat these as well. So that's the little Xeric fish trap. It's one of the best lures I've ever used in my career, and they catch a lot of fish. Let's see if we can get some flatty this morning. It is shallow, isn't it? That's okay, they don't mind that. So this is without a doubt Rodney's absolute favourite lure. It's one that he designed himself, and that we bring into the country and sell at our tackle store. It's called the Loco prawn. Loco prawn. Slightly bigger hooks. I mean, there's a lot of metal vibes that are out there similar to this. How heavy is this one?
7 grams.
7 grams, slightly larger hooks and a little bit longer, what do you call them?
Assist cord.
Assist cord, yeah. So great little lure for catching all sorts of species. When we go estuary fishing, it's very hard for Rodney to put this down and use anything else. But just cast it out, Rod. You've got 2 fish already in 2 minutes.
So yeah, I do no more than a foot hop on them. Just a constant retrieve.
But no pausing?
No pausing whatsoever. I only pause if I'm fishing more than 2 meters of water. And under 2 meters, I'm doing constant retrieve because it does cut through the water and get down pretty quick to the bottom.
Yeah.
So in the deeper water, you do have to do longer pauses for it to get back down, because you do want it hopping just off that bottom.
Now, when you hop it with the typical vibe, you can actually feel them through, all the way through your rod.
Correct.
Can you actually feel it when you're just doing the little hop?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
just when you does that little hop, you'll still feel that vibration. And the great thing about that vibration in those lures is they hit the lateral line of the fish, and they can feel it from quite a way away, and it does turn them on, doesn't it? They love
100%, yeah. And you don't want to be hopping too high.
Yeah.
Because obviously
They live on the bottom.
They live on the bottom.
Yeah.
They strike. You know, similar to a cobra, I reckon.
Yeah,
so
right.
when they're on the bottom, you just want to be getting in their face for them to strike it on there. And if you do get a hit and you don't hook up, then give it a pause.
Yeah.
And I tend to not retrieve if I get a strike, and I just lift.
Oh, look at that little guy. He's tiny. Now this is the one that really does get you.
Yes. Little Mr.
Look how
Spiky.
tiny he is.
Mr. Spiky.
Oh, cutie. So now as this tide's pushing out, it's getting a little bit too shallow here. We don't want to get this big boat stuck on it, on the sand flat. So what we're going to do is, we know there's a big sand flat over there, and part of your success is always going to be understanding where you're fishing and the grounds that you have. So sometimes coming out on a dead low tide, as Rodney hooks up to another fish right at the back of the boat, fishing a dead low tide so you can actually see where the sand flats are. This is almost like a 6th sense in fishing, and it's a thing called confidence. Rodney absolutely loves
Loco prawns.
Loco prawns. He loves them. He catches so many fish on them. So he fishes with confidence. So he constantly it goes through all the different colours. Colours don't seem to matter too much for you either, do they?
No.
It's more of that vibration.
It's all about
Once
the
you've
action.
found a lure that you really like and you're catching fish on, and you get that confidence, you will see that you'll catch more and more and more fish. Do you want those pliers,
Yes,
mate?
please.
I'll just grab them for you. There you go. And again, that's in about a foot of water. So that tide is really charging out now. So what we've done is we've spot locked here. Now if you've got a little tinny or a kayak, you can anchor if you want to. but we're anchored right on the edge of this drop off. So right here next to us, underneath the boat right now, is 1.2 meters. So we're gonna position ourselves here and we're gonna fan our cast. So I'm gonna start right out here, right up into the shallows, and I'm gonna work my way all the way along. And as I go to the right, I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So it means I'm covering this entire area. So I can just keep casting in the one spot. It's not gonna do me much good, but fanning out and covering the area is a really good way to find fish. If we don't get any on this one, then we'll drift back down, hit the spot lock again, or if you're in a tinny or a kayak, you can just whack your anchor up, drift a bit further, throw your anchor back down again, and then cover that area. You can continue your drift if you want to and just vibe straight up and down. That does work, but this tide is really starting to crank now. You'll probably be moving too fast. So we'll give this a go. There in itself is another really good lesson. Work your lure all the way back to the boat. That fish ate the lure a meter off the edge there. So I'm talking away, having a fish, and this guy's absolutely engulfed that little fish trap a meter from the boat. So he's followed it all the way. It's only a very small fish. Now sometimes handling these fish upside down, they do kind of settle a little bit. So you just pinch him in the middle of the gut like that, and he should sit there nicely for me. And I can just release him. Thanks, buddy. That's a legal fish. A couple of nice little fillets there for an entree. And he's away. So one really important piece of information, you got to remember this. You've come off the flats when you're fishing your vibe and you're fishing a drop off. Now the difference here is you've got to make sure you're staying on the bottom. So your first 2, 3, 4, 5 hops are going to be shallow, but as it gets deeper, you've got to wait that little bit longer between hops to make sure that your lure is on the bottom. So again, look for that sinking lure, sagging line, knowing that you've hit the bottom, then vibe it again. And sometimes these drop-offs can be really aggressive. They can literally go from 300-400 mil down to 2-3 meters in seconds. So always looking, keeping an eye on your braid and making sure you're actually keeping your lure close to the bottom, because there's no point doing those little vibes if you're on the surface, because flathead, as we know, they live on the bottom. So really watch out, make sure it's on the bottom. And the reason we look for clean water, and I'll use this analogy, I've heard it many, many times. The last time I heard it was from a mate of ours, Whitey from Tech Fishing. He said this one, I reckon it's a really good one. It's like going into a dark room and there's like a hot dog in the corner. You can't see it, but you can smell it, and eventually you will find it and you'll go and eat it. But if that room is fully lit, then it's a lot easier to find that hot dog. Does that make sense? Clean water tends to produce more fish, and I think flathead, like all other species, are exactly the same. It's easier for them to see your lure, it's easier for them to find a feed of bait. So clean water, really, really important. And that is a real buzz when you have a good think about your fishing and you think this should produce fish, and then it does. But we'd like one a little bit bigger than that. Your prawn is loco.
It is.
Look at that beautiful blue tail. Check it out. You can just see it in the light there. Gorgeous little fish, so healthy. Undersized though. Missed him. He's coming back. Got him again. Got him. Yep, right on the edge. Mate, that is a small fish, I can tell you.
It's a fish.
It's a tiny flathead. Come here, little guy. Now he's starting to play up. Now this, we've drifted down further, and this is literally, oh, he's come off. That's a great release. That's what we want. It is literally inches of water, and here is about 3 or 4 meters of water. So it's a very aggressive drop off, and that's okay. You test them out. It's a bit better. Not much better, but it's better. And that is almost exactly the same spot. Come here, little guy. Look at the pattern on that guy, he's beautiful. What a beautiful fish, look at him in the water there. Okay, so because this fish is so little, I'm gonna grab that hook, Rodney's in, and I'm gonna flick him off. Beautiful. They're all little fish, aren't they? Yeah. That's legal, is it?
Yep, I reckon that's legal.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit better. Now that one was in really deep water. It was that's really right on that 3 metre depth. He ate it right on the bottom, so a little bit better. What another beautiful looking fish. Down to this little corner here, and I can actually see, using good polarized sunglasses, you can actually see there's a sandbar that comes out from this corner, and so as that tide comes down, the deep bit of water comes up to the sandbar, another fantastic ambush point as fish start to empty out from the back of that lake. Really good looking spot this, but I've said that a million times in my life and caught diddly squat too, but it looks the goods. So we'll see how we go. Oh, Rodney.
What is it?
It's a flathead. It's a big one.
It's running very fast for a flathead.
I think you might be onto a stingray there, old mate. There's a really big flathead. Oh, don't tell me.
Bro, what is it?
It's not a big flathead, is it? See that flash thing, that flash of white?
Yeah.
Looks like his belly.
Yeah.
Could also be the underside of a stingray. And it's a trevally.
Oh, big GT.
GT. You hooked it in inches of water.
Big banger.
There you go. It shows it's not even a big one, how hard these fish pull.
It is a good size for the river.
Oh no! Yeah, look at that.
Good banger for the river.
That is flathead bycatch right there. On the loco, and that's like you literally hooked that thing and it would have been inches of water.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, what, 60 centimetres of water.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Ready to go, and then just push him down. See you, buddy.
And off he goes.
You. So that's catching flathead on Vibes and trevally as well. So key takeouts, keep that vibe close to the bottom. You don't need to be doing the really big vibes. Little vibe hops along the bottom work really well. You can drift and vibe straight up and down, and don't be scared to chuck those vibes like you would a soft plastic right up into the shallows as well. So that's part 2 of our flathead series, and we'll have part 3 out to you very, very soon. We're going to start chucking some bigger baits up into the shallows, see if we can get some bigger fish, and we'll conclude this series with the Flathead Classic on the Gold Coast that Rodney and I are going to fish. Are we going to win it? Probably not. He says we are. Probably not, but man, we're going to have fun doing it, and we're going to bring you in on the action and see how we go. Until next time, I'm Mark Berg. We'll catch you on the water.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe to our channel. Hit subscribe down the bottom and the little notifications bell, so every time we upload a video, you'll know about it. There'll be lots of short versions of our show, Fishing Addiction. Yeah, so please subscribe down the bottom. Cheers.